and welcome to Arife's Resto Druid, Priory of the Sacred Flame, tips, tricks, and kicks commentary video. As you can see, I am running this dungeon at a 16 with a paladin, which is kind of scary. Paladins really get chunked in this dungeon, and it's not that their defenses are weak, it's just that some of the tank busters in this dungeon are really extreme. I have to say, this was kind of a tamely pulled dungeon, but it went really well. I was a little worried about the pacing because, as you can see, this group just has a knight and some footmen, a couple sharpshooters, but the pulls that he did were very safe for him and very safe for us. In this first pull, you have a knight who is going to cast Disrupting Shout, which will stop you from casting. They also apply Impale or a Bleed on random party members. In this pack, we also have some Wrathy Footmen who cast a long Defend. This Defend reduces their damage taken by 50% for up to 5 seconds, and you can go ahead and in-cap roar that to interrupt. The sharpshooters also sort of randomly jump out away from the mobs. You can put your vortex down to pull them back in. There's nothing better than a nicely timed vortex. You put it down, you watch that sharpshooter go to jump across it, and boom, it's pulled right back.
Bloom up.
This pull has a Devout Priest and a Fanatical Conjurer. You can interrupt all of their casts with a in-cap roar, which will delay their casting, or a Skull Bash, which will stun them. Most tanks pull Guard Captain Suleiman. In that very first pull, he casts a Shield Slam, which hits the tank, but he also casts Thunderclap, which is going to be a huge AoE. It's my recommendation for you to turn into a bear when you see that coming. That'll just give you some quick armor, especially if you take Ursine's Vigor for this dungeon. It's really going to help you survive the big burst damage that happens throughout. And just with every one of those AoEs, just bear form right before they happen. If you have your hots rolling on people, they'll heal them through the AoEs. And then the bear form will keep you alive. I line of sighted my tank there a little bit.
Crowd control. Crowd control. Bloom up. Bloom up.
Here we've got some casters along with Sergeant Chainmail. Chainmail? I don't know how to pronounce it. He goes ahead and jumps out at people with a lunging strike. And this causes a little bleed, so you're going to want to go ahead and focus heal whoever is lunged at.
Bloom up. Bloom up. Watch your step.
They also cast a Brutal Smash, which is that giant circle on the ground, and you just want to avoid that. It'll stun you.
Watch your step. Spread. Watch your step. Spread. Bloom up. Watch your step. Spread.
Coming up these stairs, just a little tip for Resto Druids and other classes who have any kind of stealth ability. You can stealth through here. That pack with the links, they don't have true sight, so they can't see you as you run across. Watch your healing aggro as you come into this pack with High
Bloom up.
Priest Amaya. Amaya will need to be kept interrupted, and then very little damage goes out for this pack. This is a great pack to DPS Convoke on. Those footmen
Bloom
are going
up.
to cast Defend. You can, again, in-cap roar them.
Crowd control.
Now, I don't see this very frequently. I don't see a lot of tanks pulling High Priest Amaya in with the packs that are down in this little sunken area here,
Bloom up.
along with the light spawn and a couple casters. I was a little bit worried about this pull, but it actually went really well, and I'm pretty impressed with the idea. I'm not against it at all. It was very easy to focus heal the
Bloom up.
light spawn's target because they will
Watch
cast Purification on somebody and
Bloom
they
up.
will take heavy damage. You're definitely going to want to save
Crowd
a
control.
Swift Mend into a Regrowth or a Nature Swiftness into a Regrowth for their targets. You'll also want to save a Bark Skin or an Iron Bark for yourself.
Bloom up.
After the light spawn reach a certain amount of health, they will cast Burst of Light, and they just kill themselves. You don't even need to DPS them. While they're doing that, they are going to be gone at the end of that cast. After this pull, you'll have Tainer Dual Maul run in. You'll want to keep him interrupted. He casts Ember Storm. You'll want to avoid the fire. And he also casts Cinder Blast, which, if not interrupted, will put a debuff on the tank, and you'll just want to go ahead and dispel that.
Watch your step.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
Crowd control. Watch your step.
Bloom up.
Watch your step.
Some tanks pull this pack on the side, some don't. The other pack that they might do instead of this is
Bloom
the
up.
Patrol. The Patrol does have a Knight in
Watch
it.
your step.
The Patrol is the pack that's off to the right here, sort of walking back and forth. The Knight, you'll want to do the same thing with where you turn into a bear to just avoid taking too much damage and just actually imploding from that AoE. And you'll want to
Watch
have
your
all your
step.
hots
Bloom
rolling,
up.
including your rejuves, your germinations, and your life blooms for the Knight. And then he casts that big AoE. Make sure you're not casting after the AoE. Crit
Bloom
with
up.
some
Watch your
regrowths
step.
on everybody. Or do a quick Swiftmend into Wild Growth. You can also put your Vortex down with that pack. There are some sharpshooters in it.
Bloom up.
Watch your step. Interrupt. Crowd control.
Bloom up.
Captain Dailcry uses Pierce Armor, which applies a stacking bleed effect. And then there
Watch your
is
step.
some spot healing that you'll need to do on victims of Savage Mauling, which Dailcry will do. He'll leap out at 1 DPS, cause a player to be immobilized, and inflict a big amount of damage. You'll also want to watch out for the big AoE, Holy Radiance. You'll want to be careful, especially during spots where Savage
Bloom up.
Mauling happens at the same time as the AoE.
Watch your step. Interrupt.
So watch out for any players who might be taking extra big
Bloom up.
damage during that phase.
Bloom up.
We actually did end up lusting here because the tank buster on a paladin tank is pretty rough. We just really wanted to get through this boss as quickly as possible for him.
Watch your step.
Towards the end here, I am definitely running out of ways to heal him more effectively. It looks like he's
Bloom up.
running out of ways to heal himself. All his big defensives are off cooldown. You can see on Omni CD there.
Bloom up.
Watch your step. AoE incoming. Interrupt.
Bloom up. Bloom up. Bloom up.
Watch your step. Interrupt. AoE incoming.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
Interrupt.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
It's a good idea to come into this pack with full mana. Here you'll see Ardent Paladins, Zealous Templars, and Arathi Neophytes. The Paladins are always going to cast their big AoE in a series of 4 seconds. They'll do their Sacred Toll, and then 4 seconds will pass, and then another Sacred Toll, and then another 4 seconds will pass, and the Sacred Toll. For those Sacred Tolls, when it comes to balancing your
Bloom up.
cooldowns for those Sacred Tolls, you gotta be really careful. Druids do not really have a lot
Bloom
of
up.
cooldowns to burn through. So it's best to try and heal as many as you possibly can with your rolling hots. Maintain all rejuves on everybody, retain all germinations on everybody, and maintain your
Bloom
life
up.
blooms on the 2 lowest health party members or the squishiest party members. Or even a DPS who is pretty tanky might be hit by a cast from one of the conjurers or the priest, and in
Bloom
that
up.
case they'll take a little bit extra damage. I'm not going to say that it's your responsibility to interrupt during this part. It's really important that druids focus on maintaining their hots so that you can effectively heal through all these sacred tolls.
Bloom up.
If you have the opportunity to interrupt a conjurer or priest to help out a little bit so that people have an extra interrupt because they're just going off so frequently, definitely try to help with your skull bash.
Bloom up.
Interrupt.
Bloom up.
As I was saying about balancing your use of your
Bloom up.
cooldowns, try and get through at least 2 or 3 of those AoEs with just maximizing use of your abundance talent. Then you'll have Convoke up for some of those more challenging moments when your hots start to roll off of people. You can also use Tranquility here as like sort of a backup cooldown.
Bloom up.
I try not to use Tranquility that frequently throughout dungeons. I'd probably parse better if I did use it more frequently, but I find it better used as more of a emergency button than anything else. If, for example, a extra pack was pulled, or people were taking extra damage from casts going
Bloom
off,
up.
then Tranquility
Bloom
is
up.
kind of my oh shit button.
Watch your step.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
Watch your step.
Bloom up. Bloom up. Bloom up.
Watch your step.
Bloom up.
You'll want to come in to Baron Bronpike with full mana, so just make sure you drink up before
Bloom
the boss
up.
starts. There's a little bit of RP that gives you the chance to do so. You'll want to come in close to Baron Braunpike to bait that Hammer of Purity and the sort of fan out effect of the hammers. You'll want to move away from.
Watch your step.
Braunpike casts Castigator's Shield, and then underneath 3 players, a giant circle will appear that has a slowing effect. If you are hit by that, which sometimes the healer is and sometimes they're not, you'll want to go ahead and Stampeding Roar out of that, or use a movement ability to get out of it very quickly.
Watch your step.
Bloom up.
Once those circles have gone off, which by the way, you'll want to bait those circles away from the pyre every single time, party members will soak the sanctified pyre. The first one requires 3 soaks, the next one will
Bloom
require
up.
5, and then the next one will require
Bloom
3,
up.
and it'll go on like that. Taking a stack of the sanctified pyre will cause both a party-wide eruption of damage, but also it will put a debuff on people that is very difficult to heal, which is why as these
Watch your
giant
step.
circles go off, it's very important that you maintain your hots or have a cooldown
Bloom up.
ready.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
Watch your step.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
Watch your step.
Bloom up.
Towards the
Bloom
end
up.
of this boss, I was really struggling with mana. I should have used Innervate here, but I am terrible at using Innervate. Because I have Master Shapeshifter, I just really don't think about needing mana very much.
Watch your step.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
He's like, rebuff. I'm like, oh my god, I need mana. If you can get hots on people while going up the stairs, that will definitely benefit you. I didn't have a lot of time here because I needed to drink up. This is a great pack to DPS on. There's really not that much AoE. Again, when those AoEs are going out, you can bear form beforehand. That will make it so you don't have to heal quite as much.
Bloom up.
Watch your feet.
Bloom up. Bloom up. Bloom up.
Coming up the stairs here, it's always good to move towards the right and just sit down and drink. The paladin is going to pull a pack that has a bunch of casters, including a priest and a risen mage. The risen mage is going to
Bloom
cast
up.
Fireball Volley,
Bloom up.
which absolutely needs to be interrupted, and cast Fireball, which needs to be interrupted, but it's not as much of a priority.
Target you.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
Target you.
Something else to be aware of, that light spawn casts burst of light and then it dies. If there's any mob
Bloom up.
inside of that circle, they will heal up right after that burst of light. So you can also use your Typhoon to kind of, you can't blow paladins around, but if there's like a priest in there or a risen mage or a footman in the burst of light, you can always blow them out of the circle with your Typhoon. You're definitely going to want to help out here with interrupts if you can. This is a big caster pack. You probably can do some DPS once the casters have died,
Bloom
but
up.
you do want to watch
Bloom
that
up.
purification cast, that focused cast, which is going to do heavy damage to you. You want your bark skin up for that. If you don't have your bark skin up for that, you can use Iron Bark. If you haven't used it recently on the tank or on another DPS.
Bloom up.
If a DPS seems like they keep
Targeting.
getting
Bloom
targeted
up.
by the purification, you can put Iron Bark on them because they're probably running out of defensives on their second or third time being purified.
Bloom up. Bloom up. Bloom up.
Couple more casters in this pack. And that light spawn, which just will not let up.
Bloom up.
Again,
Bloom
towards the
up.
end of this pack, you could definitely do some DPS here. Absolutely rude for the light spawn to be casting purification at 19% health, but there it is. Make sure no packs are in that circle as it dies.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
We have Sir Bronpike here. Now, Sir Bronpike radiates with the power of the Sacred Flame, dealing holy damage to all players within 45 yards. Isn't it so lucky that the Druid range is exactly
Bloom
40
up.
yards?
Bloom
And
up.
if you take another talent, it could be 45. Well, too bad about that. You're going to take this unavoidable damage. Make sure your hots are rolling on everybody throughout the entire thing. That's the only way you're going to
Bloom
survive
up.
this. Again, cycle through those cooldowns. As your hots are starting to roll off, you can use DPS Kinfolk if you feel comfy in maintaining
up.
your hots.
Bloom
Or
up.
If you don't feel comfy in maintaining your hots, you definitely can use a Heal Convoke there. You can also use Tranquility as a backup if he just will not die.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
And he dies in a small burst of party-wide damage.
Bloom up.
These
Bloom
packs
up.
are easy peasy. You could definitely DPS here. Keep everything interrupted. There is a paladin on one side, but it's only one. Really easy to heal through. The only thing you do have to watch out for is the footmen. In particular, those risen footmen. They are like little zombie men. They will die in a little burst of party-wide damage unless they are CC'd, like right before their death. So you can save your in-cap roar to try and just confuzzle them into not dealing party-wide damage as they die.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
You could take this opportunity to get some mana back. So you don't have to drink before the last boss.
Bloom up.
Now we have Prioress Merprey. Weird name. I don't know, I didn't name her. But she is going to cast a big circle on the ground. Just avoid that. She also casts Blinding Light, pretty much at the same time as probably the most annoying spell in this boss fight, which is a Purify. The Blinding Light, you just have to make sure you're looking away from her when the cast goes off. And then that Purify, you're definitely going to want to take a defensive and run.
Bloom up.
Try and bait
Bloom
the
up.
lines to the edge of the arena so there's more room for people to move around, especially with those big circles that go out.
Watch your step.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
AOE incoming.
Merprey also casts a pretty big AoE. Just make sure your hots are rolling on everybody pretty much throughout this entire fight.
Bloom up. Bloom up.
AOE incoming. Watch your step.
Bloom up.
Face away. 3 laser from you. Run. Watch
Bloom
your
up.
step.
Bloom up.
AOE incoming.
As you come in here, put your efflorescence down and then stand at the edge of one side of the stairs. So the tank and the other
Bloom
DPS
up.
know which side you are going to go ahead and put your vortex
Bloom up.
down on. That will catch some of those neophytes, pull them back, CC them. If some of them bleed through here, you can use your Typhoon to push them back.
Bloom up.
Or you can save your Typhoon for just in case scenario when you get a second set of
Bloom
ads,
up.
which does happen sometimes. You'll deal with the same mechanics up here on this platform.
Bloom up.
Be sure to be ready to dispel any DPS who
Face away.
did not look away during blinding light.
1. Watch your step.
Bloom up.
Watch your step.
Bloom up.
AOE incoming.
If you don't have bark skin up, just bare form and run. That's all you can do.
Face away. 3 laser on you. Run. 1. Watch your step. AOE incoming. Watch your step.
Bloom up.
And that is the end of my commentary / guide for Resto Druid on Priory of
Bloom
the
up.
Sacred Flame. I hope you learned something about how you can use your toolkit to time this dungeon.